Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Wolfstalker25, and today I got a brand new action figure review for you guys on the newly released Marvel Legends Thor Love and Thunder Korg Build-A-Figure Wave Ravager Thor. This is a pretty cool looking figure. There's nothing crazy about it. Like, it's pretty much what you'd expect from a Marvel Legend. It is a very nice figure, though. We'll take a look really quick at what accessories he comes with, and then we'll take a look at the figure himself. But this is a pretty nice figure. The only accessories that this guy does come with, though, is a Stormbreaker mold. I said this in the Armored Thor review, which this will probably come out after. I really wish this would get a new mold. I hate this flimsy Stormbreaker handle. It's too thin. It needs to be thicker. It's just a shame that it's the way it is. But yeah. Other than that, though, this Stormbreaker is actually slightly different than the previous one that came with the Armored Thor. As you can see, Armored Thor's Stormbreaker is very silver all the way through, whereas this one has like that same lighter silver going right like through here, but it's like more of a gunmetal, like a closer to a gunmetal darker silver, not really gunmetal per se, but a darker silver for the actual axe itself. So I find that very strange that these figures are actually different. Whereas this one with the darker handle as well is also like, this one also has like, I think, a little bit darker of a handle. Nah, they're basically the same. If anything, this one is ever so slightly darker on the handle, but I think they're pretty much the same. It just might be the lighting throwing it off. But you could distinctly see, though, that there is a difference with the silver on these Stormbreakers, which is kind of cool that this one has, like, I guess, more paint detail on the Ravager Thor. So just even more reason why this one with the Armored Thor kind of sucks. But that's you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I do like this one. It looks better than the other one, obviously, but this handle is still not thick enough. It's too rubbery, it's too thin. This needs to be sturdier plastic. Thicker plastic probably would make it not break, but it shouldn't break, but it should be thicker where it doesn't bend like this, because this, like, after, if you hold it in his hand for a certain amount of time, it'll just turn into that, which just sucks. But there's not any other accessories with this figure. It's just this figure and whatever Build-A-Figure piece that he comes with. That's it. Bummer. I know this is probably a lot of new sculpt. Maybe not the arms. The arms are pinless, so it probably is new sculpt through and through, especially the photoreal on the face. Probably relatively expensive. I don't know how expensive those things are. But I wish this guy at least came with a set of closed fists. He just has the open ones. He doesn't really need any other hands, and like a head sculpt, I wish he had one more that was more of like an angry, teeth gritting or yelling or shouting face. Something so then you could have two head sculpts, one for your Armored Thor, one for this one, if you didn't want to put the extra head sculpt in there. But that's just my, 2 cents about this. But other than that, though, this is really nice sculpt work. I love the print detail on the shirt here. Now, granted, it does cut off if you go back to it a certain extent, but to there, I love this, like, what is it, Yggdrasil almost looking world tree with the, is it the 9 realms on the shirt? Yep, with the, like, the 9 realms being like the circles. I really love this detail on the shirt. I wonder if he's gonna wear this in the movie. I kind of hope he does, because this is a cool looking tank top. But if you wanted, you could just remove the vest and then you have just tank top Chris Hemsworth. I think this figure is a great customizer figure, honestly. Like, this is gonna like open up for a lot of like standard generic figures, characters. I think this could probably work for almost maybe a Chris Evans. I don't know. But yeah, I really like this look of this figure. The face sculpt is phenomenal. The pants look pretty good. The legs, like, this is where it's kind of Thor territory, because it's like the Thor wrapping and color and the black boots. So it's gonna be kind of hard to like bypass that. But I feel like you could just paint those black and then, whatever. But articulation wise, the arms do go up that much. Do a full 360. Upper bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows, very nice. I do like that. A little bit of black marking on the arm there. Wrist do swivel and hinge. These are both horizontal hinges. The head can look
up that much, down that much, not really much at all. He gets a little bit of tilting, just a little bit, little forward and back movement. It's just the dumbbell up there. You do get the ab crunch that gets you back that far and forward that much. So very nice forward, very good. Waist cut, legs go forward that much, back just a little bit. On the splits, there you go. Nothing crazy. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, get you up and closed that much. He's almost about to kick his own butt. If you force it, he could do it. No boot cut, which is I think a little bit of a bummer. I think there should have been a boot cut here, so then you had the option if you just want to take off this whole boot, you could, and then just like replace the boot with something else. And then ankles do go back that far, forward that much. He does have wonderful ankle pivot. Now my Thor does have a little bit wonky of like one of his ankles, so he doesn't like to stand very well. But I will say though, the face sculpt on this figure is phenomenal. I love this. I want another like one or two of these figures so I can put the head on the armored Thor, put the head on like the Sif in like Thor Dark World 2-pack. This Thor does stand about 6 3/4 inches tall, right under the 7-inch mark. So there you go. That's height-wise how much he stands. Let's check him next to some other figures. We have a Fortnite Victory Real Scientist, a comic book Marvel Legend symbiote suit Spider-Man. We have your G.I. Joe classified Snake Eyes from the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack. We have a Power Rangers Dino Thunder Lightning Collection Red Ranger, and then our Star Wars Black Series Captain Rex as your usual figure comparisons. So there you go. There's some heighted up, scaled up next to all those other guys. And then we're going to move on to more like the, I guess, importy stuff really quick. 1000 Toys Master Chief. They're standing around the same size. Figma Samus, she should be probably their same size. I think in armor she's supposed to be pretty tall. SH Figure Arts Goku. Jazzwares. Fortnite The Visitor. Got a Mezco. Oh, hold on. We'll fix him up. Thor, you can't be falling on me. You're the star of this review. Alright. Like I said, one of the ankles is a little weak, so he doesn't stand very well. We got the Mezco Stealth Iron Man. We got our Mafex Batman. So I think these are good size comparisons. I mean, Iron Man's a little taller than the Mafex Batman, but you could just say it's like one of Iron Man's where he's like, 6'4", 6'6" in the armor. We did figure arts. Do we Jazzware yet? Jazzware Halo Spartan Collection Master Chief. So a little bit taller, so, depending on what kind of scale you want Chief to be towards Thor, depending on your height, you got some room there to work with. And then we got a McFarlane Space Marine as well, which should be a lot shorter. Like, those guys shouldn't be that big in armor. They shouldn't be bigger than Chief. But it is what it is. And then size comparison wise, we'll do one more little comparison next to a comic book Captain America. I got him out on the shelf. And then we'll do him next to a movie Iron Man as well. So there's a big 3 look. So Iron Man just about the same height as Thor in the armor, which I think is pretty close to how it is in the movie, and Cap is a bit shorter with the comic book one there, which is nice. And size wise, next to the other Thors on the desk that I got here he is next to the other armored Thor from the wave, Bro Thor. Here, let's scoot him down a little bit. Bro Thor, build a figure, and then we got the Infinity Saga Endgame Final Battle Thor as well. So I wonder if we're gonna get a look at him like when he's still big in this movie, like when he's bigger and fatter, or if we're gonna immediately jump to buff, bulky looking Thor again, like Radies. But yeah, size wise, kind of scales out the same. This one looks a little short, like he could have been a little taller here, but I don't know. We could just say the weight's weighing his height down a little bit, bringing him down an inch or two. But yeah, the head sculpt on the
Armored Thor. Like, this head sculpt works on all three. If you are interested on seeing what that looks like, it is at the end of the review I did for him. I'm not going to do a head swap on all these here, but I will say this head does work very well in those bodies. I do want to try it on my Sif Thor Dark World 2-pack, because if that works, I almost want 3 of these guys, so I could use the head all in all those, just because this is a very nice Hemsworth head. This is probably the best Hemsworth head sculpt we've had yet. And then we have him next to Jane, the new Mighty Thor, which is a very nice size comparison here next to them. I do have the comic book one. I'm going to throw this here. We're going to use this in the next video for size comparisons, but pretty good. Yeah, I like these. I think this works. I guess I'll do one side, like one little head sculpt really quick, or head swap, just because I didn't do this in the other video. If you are interested, I guess we'll do these here, because I didn't do them before. If you are interested to see what the other Thor heads look like on this body, since I didn't do that before, yeah, that works pretty well. That looks good. I didn't do this in the previous video, but I think that is a pretty good head swap there. So if you want the more like, if you want just like a weird looking, like almost like Viking Thor look biker, you have that, so you can use the sunglasses head, which I think works pretty well. So if you got that head lying around, and you buy a ton more of these figures, you could throw it on this body, then you got a pretty funny look there. And then you got the armored Thor, and that works too. Like, honestly, those head sculpts on these bodies work really well. So if you just want to get more Thor heads, like if you want this like really good Hemsworth head that you could use on other Thors, because you know, just ignore the ponytail, and then this works as a Ragnarok Thor, or with the ponytail, it's got a Ragnarok Thor look. If you ignore the ponytail, it's got a Thor the Dark World look. Maybe not so much Avengers 1, but we haven't really gotten a good Avengers 1 Thor. Hopefully they go back and get that. But yeah, pretty good. I actually really like the head swaps there. So you could do a lot of stuff with this Thor body, and I'm sure there's a ton of different Marvel Legend heads that you could swap onto here. And then you have just some really cool looking customizable, like, you know, civilian looking bikers and other people. So yeah, that's it. So that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you found it helpful. I actually am really surprised how well those head swaps work. I knew how good this head worked on other bodies, but I didn't know how well the other Thor heads looked on this one, and they all, I think, work pretty well. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to pick up this figure? I almost want to pick up 2 more if I had the ability to and the money to, because this head sculpt is just so good. And then you get this cool looking body, and just think about it this way. You get this body, let's say you don't want this decal on the shirt, you could probably just paint over it fully white, and then you just have a white tank top. You could paint it black, red, blue, whatever color you want to go with. Paint the vest up, get different colors. You have so many options with this. Oh, and then I didn't even look at the back. There's a back look, and you get some nice texture and little silver paint detail there. Yeah, this is just, I love the belt buckle. It's just such a good looking figure. Honestly, like, I think most of the Thor Love and Thunder figures are pretty good. So, for the price point about $22.99 to $24.99, I think this figure is a pretty good one. I think you could pass on it if you really, really want to, because it's probably only going to be a look we see very briefly in the movie. But for all the nice stuff you get with it, like you get an extra Stormbreaker, not the best sculpt, but then you get this awesome head sculpt with it. I think this is almost a must-have if you just want a completed Thor here. So yeah, I'm gonna say you should get this guy. This guy's pretty good. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you found it helpful. I will catch you guys all in the next video. I don't know when this one's coming out. I'm recording this on the May 2nd as well, like all the other figures that I've done for the past couple days. So this one's going to come out whenever. It's going to be after Armored Thor, that's for sure. So Armored Thor will probably be like earlier in the week. This will probably be later in the week, and I'm going to get to recording the Mighty Thor review. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys there, and have a good one, everyone. Bye.